So Abhishek is asking a question: how do we get an imagination on paper while you are not good at drawing? Is formal art education and drawing knowledge important? And if I can't draw, then is it a disadvantage?
This is a very interesting question that we face, keeps coming back and keeps doing the round again and again. Let's get something very clear. When you say that when you're not good at drawing, good for what? Are you entering your drawing in a drawing competition? Ask yourself this question. Are you entering a drawing that has to be hung in a museum? The point is you are making a drawing to convey an idea. Does the drawing convey the idea? You can make a stick figure and convey the pose and convey the action, the emotion. Please do not mistake or get confused. I cannot draw like Vincent van Gogh. I cannot draw like Rembrandt. Therefore, I can't, visualize. Therefore, I can't make a storyboard. I don't have any formal training in drawing, but every time I sit with a client or every time I've sat with a client, there's always been paper and pencil. When the client talks to you, you draw a little frame on a piece of on the paper and you say, okay, is this what you're looking at? So you draw a sketch. It looks nothing like a character, but is it conveying the idea? Is the message getting across? So please differentiate and learn to differentiate the purpose of your drawing. If it is to get your idea across, if it is to communicate, is it communicating? Then you don't need shading in it. You don't need light direction in it. You don't need proper anatomy in it. All that is secondary. But yes, if you are drawing to show off your drawing skills, definitely. Then obviously, in a drawing competition, you don't expect to win the first prize by drawing a stick figure, right? Does formal education in drawing help? Yes. Let's lay this to rest. All right. Does it help, and how does it help? Well, it helps because you struggle that much less to create an illustration that can convey an idea. Can you learn how to draw? Definitely. It's a skill that you can pick up. Recently, a dear friend and a very senior person from the industry, he conducted a lot of sessions on, fundamentals of drawing for artists who can't draw. It was a fantastic opportunity. I attended all those 3 sessions that he did. So much to learn in terms of figure drawing. Again, the question is, are you drawing to showcase your drawing skills, or are you drawing to communicate an idea or to get the message across? If you can get the message across, it's good enough. The drawing is good enough for you. I see one question over here which says, how do students develop a portfolio for storyboarding? Are there any exercises one can do? Yes, definitely there is, developing a portfolio for storyboarding. A lot of storyboards that you can find if you research online, and you should definitely study that how are these storyboards, how have they been done? How has the storyboard artist approached the subject? What is the story that he's trying to convey? And has the story been conveyed clearly enough for you? Along with that, take a look at a lot of, there are scripts, there are resources that you can get online on scripts. Try to visualize those scripts yourself. You can get screenplays, which are even better because screenplays have a lot of description in terms of time of day, in terms of action, in terms of performances. That can be a very good start for you to get an idea on how a board can be put into play. It's very important that you find, again, like I said, a good mentor. Walk through your network, find out people from the industry who can critique your work. Tell them that this is the board, or this is the story that you've been developing, or this is the ideation, visualization that you've been developing. Not necessary that you tell them what the story is. Just show them the board and ask them, can you make out what I'm trying to say here? Can you figure this out? Do not show this to family members. Don't show it to your girlfriends and your boyfriends and your brothers and sisters and your mothers and fathers, because you're always going to get a very emotionally strung up review. What you need to do is to show it to people who understand the craft. You need to discuss it with people who are good at the craft, get critique from them. I see a lot of students putting stuff up on Facebook and social media, and then one guy is going to put up something and 10 others are going to say, oh, brilliant stuff. And when you're looking at it and saying it's not even worth discussing. तो ये म्यूचुअल एडमिरेशन सोसाइटी जो है, इसको थोड़ा सा कम करो. अगर आपको क्रिटिक लेना ही है, आपको एडवाइस लेना है, आपको फीडबैक लेनी है, तो ऐसे लोगों से फीडबैक लो हु नो द क्राफ्ट. तो अगर कोई अच्छे एनिमेशन डायरेक्टर हैं, उनको अपनी परफॉर्मेंस दिखाओ और उनसे क्रिटिक लो. अच्छे मॉडलर्स हैं उनको दिखाओ अपना काम और उनसे क्रिटिक लो. I have done this little, and most artists, like I told you, are more than happy to give you some advice and some feedback on the work that you're showing. You know? Storyboarding is you can practice a lot. You can show stuff. You make your own small stories and send out the board for critiquing to see whether what you have done is that understandable for someone who doesn't even know कि आपकी story क्या है.
So we have one more question.
Yeah.
This is on to management. Like whenever we see all of these big projects happen, and there's one of the question also from our viewers. How do you plan build a storyboard for an animation? So I would like to take it in a very bigger fashion. Like how do you manage the art, or it might be simple as storyboard also, or maybe a small animation clip also.
Obviously, the starting point is your script, is your story that you have. One thing that I can definitely tell you which helps is that is descriptive writing. In terms of actually describing what you are seeing, and you write that down on paper, it becomes that much easy then to translate that into a drawing, into an illustration. And Sat Shri Akal to you too, Sachin. Fantastic to have you here. It's a beautiful question. I think visual storytelling is something that I also enjoy teaching. It covers a lot of ground from an idea to conceptualization to visualizing the story. I mean, I look at storytelling is what? Storytelling is connecting with an audience. When you can draw the audience in to the story that you're telling them, is when I personally feel that the storyteller has succeeded, with me. When I watch a film, if I am able to get into the film, if the storyteller is able to draw me into such an extent that I am actually part and parcel of what is happening, then I have really got an immersive experience with the story, right? And I feel connected to the story. I can relate to it. Students come up and say that we've got an idea, but we don't know how to convert it to a story. Well, there is this concept, but we really don't know how to develop this concept into like a full-fledged story. We can definitely conduct, sessions on storytelling. For those who are interested in, some maybe very basic fundamentals of digital, computer graphics, we can do sessions on that. We can do a session on basics of design management, which will cover a whole lot of things like personal time management, workflow management. How do you manage your, projects? How do you ensure that you get things done on time? Variety of things like communication, things people are not talking about, like negotiation. I mean, who's teaching the art of negotiation in schools?
Yes,
and a lot of students are going to go out there, whether it's negotiating for your salary package or it's negotiating with a vendor to do a job for you. There is an art behind it. Talking to clients, front-ending jobs with clients, to make them understand what you can do, what they want, whether the two of you are on the same page. So, a lot of these subjects are topics, like I said in the beginning. This is not a technical session precisely for this reason, that nobody's talking about these aspects. I want to slowly drive attention towards these kind of areas. But let's talk about storytelling. Let's talk about story development. Let's talk about visual, description. How do we take an idea? How do we convert it into a story? How do we then take it to a storyboard? A whole lot of things can be talked about. And then, wherever specific, technical requirements come into play, things that are important to understand, I think we can definitely address those issues. I mean, decision making is one very big area that nobody talks about. I would love to see students pay attention to what exactly is decision making, because that's what you're doing day in, day out when you're working in a professional environment. So there is a method to decision making, which has far-reaching consequences. Your schools, colleges, institutes are the best place for you to make mistakes, because real life is very unforgiving when it comes to mistakes. So if there is a control Z, that undo button exists while you are in your institute. So make the most of it. There's this lovely gentleman by the name of Sir Ken Robinson. He says a very beautiful thing, that if you're not prepared to be wrong, you're never going to come up with anything original. This is like a mantra that you must take on as a life mantra. That unless and until you're prepared to fail, at the most what's going to happen? You're going to fail, right? Our intent is not to fail. Nobody intends to do any project with the viewpoint of saying, I want to make sure it fails. Everybody wants the project to be the best project. But the point is, you will come across things in life where you will fail. How do you handle those failures? How do you turn them into opportunities to learn? What have you learned from it? Actual learning. I see institutes, yours included, our students have made films. I find that a lot of the films lack basic connect, basic storytelling techniques. They lack basic conceptualization and ideation of what exactly a story should be. It's not about the execution. A lot of you may have seen some years ago, there was this six-figure animation that somebody had done in Flash, where this character keeps playing with the interface of the Flash software. I mean, it can be as simple as that, but it's engaging. It's something that hooks you. You keep looking at it. You keep saying, okay, what next is he going to do? You become part and parcel of that experience. It is not rocket science. Look back when you were a little child. I have a memory of the fact that I used to have a T-shirt which used to say, I was doing very well in life till education ruined me. Okay? And that's a fact. Somewhere down the line, we somehow tend to overcomplicate ourselves. We are all storytellers. Okay? Each one of us, there is no such thing as, geniuses in life. Everybody is a genius. Everybody has got something unique that they are going to bring to the table, that they can bring to the table. You have to believe in that fact. What is that uniqueness? You have to find. And that means going that extra mile, taking that extra interest. That means investing yourself that much more. Why is it that you lose this craft as you finish your 12th or you've come out of school, you suddenly lost your craft of telling a basic story? आपको अगर really test करना है अपनी storytelling abilities, एक छोटे बच्चे के साथ बैठ जाओ and keep that child engaged with the story for half an hour. आपको पता चल जाएगा कि आप कितने बड़े storyteller हो. And give a little child a story to tell and tell them to weave a story, and you will see how imagination flows. Anything is possible in their life. Anything is possible in their world. All right. So why are we constraining ourselves? It is not something difficult. It can be learned. There is a structure to it. There is a methodology to it. You just need to put the pieces in the right place and approach it in a structured way, and it can become a very simple and a very enjoyable exercise. Sachin's question that should we not have people presenting these kind of stuff? Definitely they should. I mean, I'm quite disappointed with the fact that we don't have sessions on this. We're not paying attention to what is actually required.
I also feel is like it's so much of these all software tools or companies have brand marketed themselves so brilliantly over internet and all of these online educators that they are insisting more on tools like learn Maya, learn Max with the professionals. They're never insisted on saying you can learn modeling as a skill or learn how to make hyper realistic or maybe a particular genre of textures. Maybe that could be one of the reasons.
People are running a business. You can't fault them for running a business. You can't say ये गलत business है. आपको किसने जबरदस्ती थोड़ा बैठाया उस कोर्स में? आप आंख बंद करके उस कोर्स में गए हो, राइट? आंख खोल के गए हो ना, कान खोल के गए हो. एटलीस्ट जाना चाहिए. आंख खोलो, कान खोलो, लोगों से बात करो. The point is, it's not about कोर्स में क्या सिखा रहे हैं, गलत सिखा रहे हैं या सही सिखा रहे हैं. करिकुलम क्या है यार? 3D एनिमेशन का करिकुलम क्या है? It's a standard curriculum world over.
Yes sir.
Right?
Definitely.
The point is, ना उसके beyond effort ले रहे हो.
Yes sir.
आपका, which is what I talked about in the beginning, that how invested are you in this? How much are you pushing the system? How much are you going out and saying, okay, ये तो ठीक है यार, कोर्स में मुझे दिखा रहे हैं कि ये टूल से क्या होता है, वो अलग बात है. I am going to not get limited by this. I'm going to go beyond this. Are you doing that? Right? So don't fault a software company has to sell software, my friend. You can't blame them for it. You can't fault them for it. Sir, software push किया है, इसकी वजह से हमारी animation खराब होगी. Sorry, I don't trust that. I don't buy that at all. It's up to you how you take that solution and use it to multiply your own knowledge. And whether you get limited by that tool or you get liberated by that tool is entirely up to you. ये फैक्ट है कि टूल से आप कभी आर्टिस्ट नहीं बन सकते. आप टूल सीख सकते हो, आपकी आर्ट एनहांस हो सकती है. बेसिक से you can't run. Vishal over here, which I find quite interesting, I can see that nowadays watching movies which contain VFX, Totally different means we can find out the mistake and can't enjoy the movies like back in school. I'm not really sure what Pawan is trying to say here, but I always tell my students that whenever you watch an animation film or you watch VFX heavy movie, watch a film twice. First time when you watch it purely from an entertainment point of view. Does the story excite you? Do you get involved in the story? Do you enjoy what you're seeing on screen? Don't get into the technicalities of it. Leave that aside. If you're going to start, what I call intellectualizing a movie like that, you will never enjoy it. If you are watching a movie for purely the fact that you want to understand the technicalities of it, that's a different aspect. Then yes, you are anyways not sitting in that movie to enjoy it. Okay, my personal feeling there is you are basically then going there with a magnifying glass, which is a horrible way to see a movie, if you ask me personally. But yeah, people like to do that. There are enough books on making of. There are enough online tutorials that you get now, which most studios put up, which are behind the scenes of how movies are made, how sequences are shot. You can take a look at that and understand how exactly they manage to pull off a very complicated shot like this. Many often in today's date and time, you think that this is all live when all of it is CG. It's done that well and it's a shock to you. Advice to a lot of my students always is first time, try to watch it by keeping your technical hat outside. Okay, don't be the director, don't be the actor, don't just be an audience member. Okay, go in, watch it purely for entertainment factor. Did it grab you? Did you get an immersive experience? Did you really live the each and every episode in the film? Was the film able to draw you in as a performer in the story? Then, if you still have the interest factor, do your research, find out online how they did it. After you studied it online, okay, this is how behind the scenes they've done stuff. Watch the movie again. Now you're doing it from a standpoint of trying to learn. Okay, how did they pull this off? Yes, I agree with you that sometimes when you come to know if you see it beforehand, you may not enjoy it. I think you're over complicating things for yourself. They say films are a reflection of society. Storytelling is a reflection of society. That is enough ammunition and fodder for you to create stories. Now it's your choice. Do you pick up the negative aspects that you see around you and you make a film on those negative aspects? Or do you pick up the positive aspects and you make a film on the positive aspects? Just because somebody picks up a negative aspect doesn't make him a lesser or a bigger filmmaker than somebody who picks up a positive. I think that is something that we should be very sensitive to, and we should respect the choices that people are making. Watch a movie from technical interest if you really want to get under the skin. Watch a movie from entertainment point of view if you want to get under the skin of whether the storytelling is good, whether you enjoy it from a story perspective, whether you enjoy it from a point that is the filmmaker, are the characters, have they been able to touch you in a way that you have gotten involved with the story to such an extent कि आप भूल गए आप theater में बैठे हो. As an artist, you have to live the role of, and animation allows you to do this. This industry, this field that you're in, you have to wear the hat of an animator, a director, a performer, a choreographer, a dancer, a light, director, DOP, cinematographer, art director, costume designer, everything, sound designer, music director, even a musician. So this is the one field and one area that allows you the flexibility to play all these various roles. Investment means this only. Are you invested in this across the various multiple verticals? और are you only concentrating कि नहीं मैं तो सिर्फ मॉडलिंग करना जानता हूँ, मैं मॉडलिंग करूंगा, छोड़ दिया, बाकी मेरी फिल्म का कोई मेरा लेना देना नहीं. You can't do that. You have to be invested 100% in it in all fields. I was once working with a music director, and we was a small TVC that we were doing, and he looked at me and he said something that has always stayed with me. And this I'm talking about some 25 years ago when he said this to me. He said, I always find it fun to work with you when you bring TVCs, because I don't have to struggle to put things in meter with you. Your films are already edited to meter. Your performances are edited to meter. How do you do it? And my response to him was that, it has been always an interest in music, different types of music. I enjoy classical as much as I enjoy heavy metal, as much as I enjoy electronica, as much as I enjoy, fusion to Sufi to Hindustani to Western classical to Indian classical, everything across the board. I mean, if music has to be something that if it sounds good to you, forget about what genre it is. Okay. Now, what that does is when you take a short film and you're looking at the story, automatically somewhere down the line, the instrumentation starts coming to your mind. Okay, how would I structure the music for this? What kind of background sound would I use in the scene? What would be the voice, character of my performance? So voice characterization is a very important tool for us animators, makes a huge difference to the performance. So when you start thinking sound, when you start thinking orally, and you have a mind that is constantly being saturated from various aspects, and you are enjoying the beat, the rhythm, the harmony, the vocals, when you get into that space, it starts showing in your work. When you go into a sound studio, the director telling you that, well, it's a pleasure to, make sound for you because we're not struggling that much. The sound design is almost, ready made for us in terms of the direction that we want to take. So this is again where holistic learning comes in. This is again where interest in various different fields comes in to help you in your work and to push your work to the next level. Any good animation director today, आप वैभव कुमरेश को ले लो, he'll keep humming some song or the other. He'll hum. हम लोग कई बार बाहर गए पिकनिक्स पे, where we've had singing, sessions, where we've had music sessions. अब he's an animator, you say यार ये animation filmmaker ये गाना क्यों गा रहा है? इसको गाने में क्यों इंटरेस्ट है या गाने से क्या फर्क पड़ता है? It shows in the work. आपकी वो sensibilities will always help you.
So I think so. It was a great thing and a very informative webinar today, and we would like to have you once more, but on a very particular and very precise genre or precise topic which we could elaborate on. I feel it's a time for goodbye, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for being with us and sharing all your experiences and all your knowledge.
Pleasure is all mine. I enjoyed. I hope this session is been useful for people. There are a lot of things which go beyond technology, which I think students should seriously start looking at if they are not already, and they should invest a lot of their time, given the fact that there are so many avenues for knowledge available today to you.
There are a lot of requests from all our viewers that we need one more new webinar with Tony sir, and that usually happens in all of your lectures. So on that case, hats off sir for being such a good mentor, and this is something which we, as all the students, we need today.